Hello. I am back again. I am obsessed with this live. Now that I know how to do it, I decided to come back to you guys today. And I am in the nearby cafe as usual. I wanted to do trying to think if there's anything in particular that I would like to discuss with you. Nothing that I can think of right now, but I just wanted to come to you so you can see me in the flesh. I am doing well. I am on the continent of Africa, and I'm just checking in with you. Another day, and yeah, I just wanted to come to you. I didn't have anything in particular that I was doing today, so since it's Sunday, it's a beautiful day, and I've been relaxing. Yesterday was the Sabbath, the Sabbath. The seventh day, we had a gathering. It was very wonderful, very beautiful. It was a group of us. We gathered together. We worshiped and we praised the Most High. So today was just a relaxing, beautiful day. So I decided to do a live. It's supposed to be once a week, but I'm trying to be doing it often just in case people have questions, any business questions or any questions about being here on the continent of Africa, Salaam, Tanzania. So I did want to say I've been kind of watching some other people's videos, and there have been several diaspora that have come here and that are leaving, that have some issues with being here, with immigration, student visa situations, and all those things. So one thing I can say is if you are coming to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, I would recommend that you I'm gonna say do research, but if you can connect with someone that's here already, this will be very helpful because they can give you an idea of how to prepare. Because even if you do research online, and even if you read up on the requirements to come here and all that jazz, it's always good to have someone on the ground that's here. So, for example, it's good to do a consultation with several of us are doing consultations, but it's good to do like a consultation with someone personally so you can get an idea of how they move. Because I'm just noticing being here, everybody's experiences are different. My experience being here a year this month, I haven't had any major issues. So some people have. I haven't had any major issues of being, just anything major happening with me or to me. But then I do move a little bit differently. I am more mature. I am older. So sometimes experience in life or age kind of makes a difference in how you handle situations or how you see things. So I would recommend you get a perspective from someone that's close to your age, maybe, or around that. Like if you're older, I would say maybe 40 and over, or maybe 30, late 30s and older, I would suggest or recommend that you get someone, if you do a consultation, you consult with someone that's older and more mature, because if you get a consultation from a millennial and you're like 40, late 30s, maybe 40, maybe 50, then your experience here may be different from someone who is a millennial, who is like, 20s, maybe 30s, early 30s, or whatever. Your experience may be different. So for me, my experiences may be different from somebody that's younger because we think differently. We have different levels of wisdom and knowledge. Being older, I guess you consider me like an elder. So I would have a different experience maybe from someone who's 20 something. So I would recommend that you consult with someone that's closer to your age range, because it will give you more of an idea of, based on your age and just how you think that you would move a little bit differently from somebody else who would be younger, even in the way you interact with people and in the way you do business will be kind of different. Even the way you see things logically and it would just be different from someone who is a millennial. So I would recommend that. I think that's very helpful because I've consulted with some people that say that they're happy that they spoke with me and I prepared them to come here, and I kind of gave them a different view of how you have to move here. And when you come here from the diaspora, when you come here from a Western country, this is a different world. So please do not romanticize the continent. For me, it's paradise. For me, everything has been smooth. For me, I can adjust because I prepared my mind and heart to be on the continent. This is not my first time being on the continent of Africa. I did go to Ghana and I stayed for 2 weeks, so I had some experience on the continent of Africa. So when I came here, I kind of had an idea of what to expect. But when you are new coming here, you don't consult with someone, you don't know how you should move, how you should act, what you should say. Even when you come into the country, to the immigration office, there's certain things you need to say, certain ways you need to act and conduct yourself, and a certain attitude that you need to have. Because at the end of the day, the immigration is the immigration officer. So each one can determine your amount of time you stay here. So a lot of things can be determined, and this is not America, so you don't have a room to demand anything. This is a sovereign country, and they don't have to even let you in this country. So that's one thing that we have to understand as a diaspora. When you come here, you have no rights here. You're a visitor, you're a tourist. So you have no rights to stand up and speak against anything. You just have to just kind of deal with how they handle it and what they say to you. And each immigration officer could handle stuff differently. So you have to have an understanding in your mind that everything is not like etched in stone. So things could change based on whichever immigration officer that you get. So I would recommend you understand that before you come here, because if things don't work out the way you were told that they work out, and you come into this country, you don't get 90 days. You might only get 30 days. You might only get 60 days. But you can't. There's nobody you can complain to because they can do whatever they want to because they're immigration officers, and each one may do something different. So you just have to just understand that and be okay with it. You don't want to come here. You don't want to make waves. You don't want to cause any drama or any issues if you want to stay. And a lot of times when a lot of us come here, we don't conduct ourselves the way that we should as a foreigner, as visiting. So you're an American, you're visiting the mama land. And when you visit your parent, when you go visit your mother, for example, if you move out of your mother's house and you go back to visit your mother, you know your mother has certain rules and regulations that you have to live by, guidelines that you have to follow, standards that you have to follow. So when you go visit your mom, she has rules and regulations, and that's the same thing being here on the continent. They have rules, they have regulations and guidelines of how you have to live. And so when you come here, you just remember that you are a visitor. You don't come here being disrespectful, being rude, because you wouldn't do your mama like that. So treat the continent as if it's your mama's house. You know, you come in to visit, you follow the regulations, you're doing everything that the country asks you to do. Your attitude is humble and respectful, the same way that you would respond to your mom. So just kind of look at it like that, and then you'll do well here. You'll function well here. You'll get a lot more accomplished here. So also, I wanted to say something about. I was going to say something about. Oh, it slipped my mind. I was going to tell you something else. I'm trying to think of everything I need to say to you that would benefit you if you decide to come here. Like I say, nothing is perfect. Yes, there have been some issues lately with us, the diaspora, with the visas. This is kind of difficult. In terms of buying land, the safest way to buy land is under a business. I have heard situations where people have bought land outside of being under a business, like making little side deals and partnerships with Tanzanians. The only problem is that you're not safe and secure if you do it that way. Now, if you're married, that's different. But if you just a friend with someone and you work a deal out, if they change their mind, if it's a Tanzanian, they change their mind, if something happens to them and they pass away, God forbid, then their family can come after you, their children can come after you, their spouse can come after you. So for the land, and you don't want to be in a court. You don't want to have to go in front of a judge in a foreign country to fight a local for some land. Okay, so I would recommend if you want to buy land that you do it under a business. You do not take a chance and try to buy land any other way. And that's how you have to do it here. Now, if you don't like the rules and you got a problem with it, then you go to another country that allows you to buy land. And you won't have to do that. Like I heard the Gambia, they let you buy land. So you can buy land in Kenya. So if you like the east side of the continent, then go to Kenya. You can buy land there. So it's just different. It's different countries here. You're not like you don't have to stay in Tanzania if you don't like to follow the rules and the regulations and the guidelines and the standards here. If you don't like it, you can always go to other countries. It's 54 on the continent. So that is my perspective. It's a place for everyone. Just get out of the U.S., just get out of Babylon and come to the continent. There are 54 countries. You can pick one. Pick one that's right for you. Sometimes you may have to start here and then you can branch out. You may start in Ghana and you come here. You may start in the Gambia and you come here. You may be in South Africa and you come here. Wherever you go, you can always move around the continent once you get here. But your goal is to get out of Babylon. So so I would recommend that you do that and get out of bed. Look at the kid behind me. Look at the kid behind me. See me on live and he's like waving behind me. So yes, I would recommend that you do that. What else? Just trying to think of some other questions that people may have that will be very helpful. Look at this child behind me, you guys. Look at this child. So what else? I would recommend that you, oh my gosh, I had something very important that I would recommend you to do. Okay, in terms of buying land, you do have to try to get to know a Tanzanian. Do not come here and you don't know anyone and just meet any Tanzanian and you go and try to go into business with them. No, you have to vet that person. You have to figure out the level of integrity of that person. So you don't want to just go into business with anybody that you meet. You have to have time here to get to know people. And so you're going to need that time. With my two Tanzanian partners, I've known them since last year in August. I got here last year in July. I met them in August. And then I had a relationship with them for almost a year before, I would say 10 months, 10, 11 months before I decided to ask them if they wanted to do business with me. So yeah, you have to get to know the people that you're going to do business with here on the continent. I'm trying to think of something else. I had something so important to tell you guys. Whenever I find out pertinent information that will be helpful for you, especially if you decide to come here, I would like to share it so I can keep you updated and informed here on the continent. I'm trying to think if it had anything to do with business. Yeah, so hopefully it'll come back to me. If not, I'll make another video in the next couple of days and I'll explain to you what I was going to say. It was in my mind, and then as I was talking, it left. It just left. So I'm trying to think. I try to think of helpful things to. I think it was in reference to when you're coming here, make sure that you connect with someone that's actually living here, that's actually been here for a while, not someone that just arrived. So if you have just arrived and you haven't even had one extension or you haven't even left the country yet, you're still kind of new here, so you don't really know the ins and outs of what's going on here. So the information that you provide may not be all accurate all the time because you're going based on your experience. And sometimes you have to be in the country for a while to understand a lot of the systems and how things work here. I have been here a year this month, and I'm trying to share all the tidbits that I've learned since I've been here, which allowed me to create a business, to partner with a Tanzanian, which allowed me to be here as long as I have. Now, I didn't have all the money. I am not rich by any means. I am a working person just like everybody else there in America. I am a working person. So, but it's just a matter of managing your money correctly, and it's a matter of finding sources of income for you. So for me, I created this business, and even before this, I started doing consulting last year. So that was a little income coming in. I could charge 30 USD per hour for the consultation. I do business consultations, actually, which through my business, my Tanzanian brothers will be the ones doing that on your behalf or for you. The reason that I want them to do it, I know a lot, but this is not my country. So I want them to consult with you because they can give you more accurate information in terms of this is their business, and they have land themselves, and they've helped other diaspora register local Tanzanian companies, as well as they provided advice to register a foreign company through the TIC, Tanzanian Investment Center. So there are two ways to register businesses. So and I do have an attorney that I can refer to you if you're interested in registering a business. I have an attorney. The one that registered my business is very affordable, and he has integrity, and he works in an actual law office. So if you need me to refer you, I will. Now his fees are outside of our fees. We charge a fee for referring you, but no, we don't charge a fee. I'm sorry, we don't charge a fee for referring you. We can refer you to him, but he charges a fee. So I don't know what his fees are, but I did tell him that I would refer diaspora to him if they were interested in registering a business. Now, underneath the business, it's very important that you get a business registered here, because once you get a business registered here as a foreigner, what you can do is you can buy land under the business. You can buy a vehicle under the business, meaning it will be a business, your business vehicle. You could buy land, so underneath the company or the business, you can purchase land, and that will be under the business, so there won't be any issues. You know, your partner, Tanzania partner, has 51%, you have 49%. Nobody can sell anything, nobody can do anything without each other. So if they wanted to sell some of their shares, they can do that, but it's still safer for a foreigner to do business like that. And as a matter of fact, that's how all the other foreigners come here and do it. So we need to learn the system instead of trying to change these systems. You can't change these systems on the continent coming from the diaspora. It's not like the West. You can't come here with that mindset thinking you're going to change the policies here. If they change, it'll have to be on their terms when they're ready. Enough of us come here, enough of us invest, enough of us come here and stay out of trouble and keep out of drama and stop being rude, loud, and disrespectful. Then they will possibly see that we're here to invest in the country and help build up the continent and build up the country. Then they will be willing to maybe invite us into a meeting with them to hear our perspective, what we would like, since we're doing such wonderful things. But if you're not doing wonderful things and you're coming here and you're causing drama and problems and confusion and being disrespectful and loud, then they won't open up extended arms to you. They're going to ask you, what are you doing here? You've been here what are you doing here? You can't just come here and not do anything. You come here, you have to invest into this country. You have to improve it, okay? And you definitely cannot come here and try to get a Tanzanian job. That's a no. You cannot come here and try to find a job. It doesn't work like that, because you cannot take a Tanzanian's job. So I would recommend that if you decide to come here, you are creating a business and you are creating jobs for individuals. So, for example, my business or my company, it is creating jobs for Tanzania. So all of the services that we will be providing will be Tanzanian. So those sisters, they're going to all be Tanzanians. They're going to be the ones cooking and cleaning and shopping and nannies and babysitters. That's what they're going to be doing. The brothers, all of the brothers, security. It's probably going to be some massage. Or some other brothers. We're going to have Uber drivers. We're going to have translators, all Tanzanians. We're going to have foodies, which are mechanics or plumbers, electricians. They're all considered foodies. All of them Tanzanians. We're going to have dalalis, which are real estate agents. All Tanzanians. So all the jobs and services that we're going to provide will be Tanzanians, as well as referring to Tanzanian companies or businesses. So if you make furniture, we're going to refer our diaspora to you, because they're going to need beds and couches, etc. If you do that, then we're going to refer you. any kind of company or business that you have here, whether you sell clothes, jewelry, shoes, services such as manicures, pedicures. If you have a business or an organization, we're going to refer diaspora to you. So I would recommend that you, no, you just need to know that. Sorry, I got off track. You just need to know that we will be referring. So this business is very lucrative here because I'll be the connection between uh, the Tanzanians and the continent in the diaspora, meaning I'm the international connect because I'm from the U.S. So I'll be like reaching out to people to come, and then when they get here, the USD will come here and then it will be distributed here to the different individual businesses. So we'll be all benefiting. We'll be making money. I'll be making money. The company will be making money by pulling you in, and when you come here, you have a place to come. You'll be situated, safe. You'll have help with your Swahili and T-shirts, and you'll have time to learn it in a safe environment where you're not overspending and being overcharged. Every now and then you're gonna still get overcharged. Whenever you open your mouth and you speak English, you'll get overcharged because you speak the Mzungu language. I would recommend you work on trying to learn Kiswahili if you come here, and it takes time. Like me, I've been here a year. I may know 100 words, but I know enough to function. But I still get overcharged every now and then, but I know how to handle it, and I know a lot of the prices, so I know when I'm being overcharged. So let me look at some of these. Um, Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I cannot pronounce your name. Matona Wabantu Academy. Thank you so much, Auntie Sana, for the compliment. I am trying my hardest. So just trying to provide information and guidance to people who want to come here. And so I'm trying to think of other things that would be beneficial for you to know before you come. Yeah, just consult with someone, connect with someone who is actually here, and they can give you guidance in how to move here, how to live here, if you want to repatriate, just different stuff like that. Trying to think of anything else. Another thing is when you come here, it is not perfect, just like America is not perfect. And actually, I feel safer here than I do in America because they're not killing us here. But you have to move a certain way. Like you can't flex. You know what I mean? You can't come here flashing your money and your Jordans and all the material things because they already, when they hear our accent, they already think that like we're rich. We're not. Many of us are mid to lower income families in the U.S. So we're not rich, but we're trying to stay. So you need to stretch your money, and you come here and you're trying to stay here forever, but you live in all high because it's cheaper here. It's less to live here. Sorry, that was a fly. It's less to live here than in America. So you come here and you buy these large houses and you get these big fancy houses and all this fancy stuff, and you can save money by living simply. So I would recommend you just live a simple life, and you don't flex coming here. You save your money, you get a place that's economically sound for you that you can actually afford. So I would recommend that you do that. Find your place that's that's comfortable and that's not too expensive, especially if you plan on staying, and especially if you don't have income. If you just have savings and you're moving here, then you have to live on a budget and you have to try to keep your finances as low as possible. So your expenses, as low as possible, especially when you don't have income. Like when I got here, I didn't have income. I was actually blessed to stay with a family in Masaki. It was a Jamaican couple that extended and allowed me to stay with them for like 6 months. And so I was able to save money by staying with them. That was a blessing from the Most High. He opened doors supernaturally for me to stay with this Jamaican family. And I was they're Jamaican by way of U.S. So, but they've been on the continent for a while. So they They rented a big house and they allowed me to stay there with them until I got my finances together. And so I was able to like save money and I was able to plan accordingly and find the area that I was interested in moving in. The area I live in is in Mbezi Beach area, and it's a very local area. So I like it because it's not a place where you see a whole lot of Mizungu. They might come to the cafe, but they don't really live in the neighborhood because it's not really security around here. So they're not going to be in a place where it's not a lot of security. They're usually in international areas where they have a lot of security. So this area is a little bit more, I like it a lot better because it's not as city, it's more like rural area, and it's more local. And I like that because if I don't speak, they really don't know that I'm a foreigner unless I speak English, and I'm getting better with my Swahili, so I can speak both together, and then they know. Sometimes they think I'm from Kenya, sometimes they think I'm from South Africa, so it's really good that I'm not. It's kind of sad, but I really don't want anybody to know I'm from the U.S. because they see dollar signs when they see us, and we're not rich by any means. So if you can speak a little Swahili when you go shopping in places, then you, especially at the little fruit stands and vegetable stands and Kiriakou, the markets and stuff, you speak a little bit more Swahili, then that'll help you out with the prices. I just wanted to come to you and do this quick live. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to inform you about? I think I told you about doing business here, renting, and then some people have had experiences with like Dalalis. Dalalis are real estate agents, and many of them you find when you go to Zoom, Tanzania. If you are planning on coming here to the continent of Africa, especially Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, go on Zoom, Tanzania, because everything is on there. You'll see homes, you'll see cars, you'll see furniture. There's a lot of things on there that you can just get an idea of the prices of what, the prices are for different things, 2-bedroom, whatever, in what area. So that's a start. You can start looking on there, but then you don't want to rent anything or do anything in America. You do not want to do anything in America, because if you do, you'll be getting American prices. You want to do everything when you do here to Tanzania, because you get more local prices or they're T-shilling prices versus the U.S. prices. So I wanted to tell also all you people, if you know anyone that wants to go to Zanzibar, I would recommend that you wait to come here to book a Airbnb, a hotel, or a resort, because if you book anything in Zanzibar online, you're going to be paying U.S. prices. And even though you see, because I see a lot of brothers on Facebook that are here, and they have a lot of tours and vacations, and they show you all these beautiful pictures of Zanzibar. And Zanzibar is very beautiful, but they're charging you USD online. You can get these same places for less than half the price you're paying if you come here. So it would be better and more ideal, even if you go to Zanzibar, it's only a ferry ride away. It's 35 USD or maybe 50 USD to take a ferry from Dar es Salaam to Zanzibar. I would recommend you fly into Dar instead of going directly to Zanzibar. Fly into Dar, stay in Dar for a couple of days, maybe 1 or 2 days, take a ferry to Zanzibar, and then go to that resort, go to that hotel, go to that Airbnb, physically go and pay when you get there, because if you do that, then you'll get a T-shilling price. Now, some of those places do still charge USD because they're in Mzungu. Most of those resorts are Mzungu owned and operated in Zanzibar, unfortunately. So you're going to be paying a little bit more, but I think the prices are better when you come here versus online, and versus getting somebody to do it for you. You don't need a travel agency. You don't need someone to plan something in Zanzibar. You could do that yourself, so you can save some money by doing it yourself and stop asking these brothers online. They have. I know they're marketing to us because a lot of us are coming here, but I have a problem with being overcharged. And a lot of those prices are overcharging you. And even the Airbnbs, I would not recommend that you book an Airbnb in America or online before you come to the continent, because they're way cheaper here. They don't always be like they're supposed to be. They're not like in the West. They don't be up to standard is what we're used to. So I would recommend you come here. You go to the Airbnb, you look at it. You get a hotel when you first come here. Go to the Airbnb and look at it. Run all the water, turn all the lights on, make sure it's up to par, and then you pay your money. So that's what I would recommend. It's just my personal recommendation, because I've heard different horror stories about some of these Airbnbs, and then you pay in USD. Once you pay your money, you done paid your money. You can't get it back if there's no sink in there. So just come here, get a hotel. Those are usually up to standard. Get you a hotel for a day or two, and then you go find your Airbnb at that rate. So you can physically go there. Everything here you need to physically look at, from apartments to houses. Physically look at. Don't do anything online. Do not pay any USD. Do not pay anything online. Come here and look. Physically go there and look at stuff. I know a lot of people like to plan stuff ahead of time and like to go ahead and book stuff ahead, but don't do that here. Because from experience and from what I've seen people have to go through, this information is for the diaspora who has never been here and you don't know how things work here. I am telling you, don't do that, because you'll be paying too much money. You can save a lot of money by doing what I asked you to do. As far as just booking a hotel for like a day or two, and then you're going to get an Airbnb. After you get here, you go look at it. You go look at the location, because it could be a cheap or a good price, but then it could be in an area that's not safe, or it's not safe for you to live in, because there's some areas that foreigners shouldn't live in. Just some areas, I know some people want to be like way out, but then sometimes you can be a target. If you're way out, you may not have the security that you need. You need security. You're foreign. You have a dollar sign in your head. When you open your mouth and you speak English, you need to be in an area with security, meaning a secure enough spot. Because there have been people that live with a fence and barbed wires, and they still get robbed. People still get in their house. So you have to come here yourself, and you have to look at the area and look at the house and look at the apartment to still check on the safety and the security of it in what area. So just because you way out don't mean you're safe, because when you open your mouth, people from 3 blocks away know where you live. Let me tell you something. I'm the only English speaker and the only Tanzanian, probably where I live, the only English. Well, I hear some now speak a little English, but if you're in an area like that, everybody for 3 blocks, in radius, know that you're a foreigner and that you live in there. Everybody knows that I'm living where I'm living. But the good thing is I have really good security. My security lives on our property, and they're there 24/7. So 24/7 security. We keep our fence locked at night. We have not only outside, but I have bars on my windows. I got like 2 doors that lock. So I have like a screen door, and I have a hard door. They're both locked. So you have to live like that. Unfortunately, you just have to live like that, for security's sake. And it's more of being robbed for your possessions, more so than like being killed. Like, nobody's gonna kill you; they just want your stuff. So, but you don't want to be fighting nobody for it either, because you could get hurt. So yeah, just wanted to give some updates and some pointers and some tips. But for the most part, I love Tanzania. Some people have had bad experiences. Many people are leaving, but then many people are coming. I haven't had any bad experiences. I love this country. It's still better than America. It's still better than Babylon. So I say to all my diaspora, come on out of Babylon and come to the continent. I'm not saying you have to stay in Tanzania. You can go to Kenya right next door. They love foreigners. You can buy land and everything. You can go to Ghana. You can go to Nigeria. You can go to Botswana, Namibia. You can go to Egypt, wherever you want to go. But just come to the continent and get out of Babylon, because it is falling, and it's falling very, very fast, quick, and in a hurry. Because it's judgment time. So they're falling. The country is falling, and it's never going to be the same. Babylon is never going to be Mystery Babylon. That's America. It's never going to be the same. All of the European countries are falling. So you got to get out and get out now. Okay? So come on back to the continent. This is like the safest place right now. and everybody knows that except for us. All the other nations are here. You can believe it. You got a plane with 400, 300 Russians on the plane going to Zanzibar. Everybody knows but us. So come on and connect and constantly get out of there as soon as you can. Try to save as much money as you can. And then when you come here, you got to live on a budget, and you got to look for means of income. Online is a good way, for gigs and some type of streams of income online. If you want to start a business, and try to get your business, functioning, the money's coming in. But just have a plan when you come. Have a business plan or some kind of idea of how you're going to make money here. I'm about to end this live because it's getting very loud in here. So I will do another one again in a couple of days. And I guess that's it for now. And so I'm going to end the stream, and then I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay? All right. Bye.